Good evening, good morning. I don't know what time it is wherever you are, but um, I'm just sitting here or lying here thinking about a few things. I've been sitting around just meditating on some things. I believe that the Ruach HaKodesh would have me to meditate on, and you know, a lot of times I think that there are people who are getting depressed and who are getting frustrated, maybe even angry with Yah because they're like, well, why is this happening? Is this is how it's all going to end? And a lot of people who have been believing Yah for certain things in life to happen for them, for their destiny. Yeah, this can't happen to me right now because I haven't had a child yet, or I have babies, and I want to see them graduate from high school, from college. I want to see them get married and have kids. I want to see my grandkids. Uh, yeah, you can't do this because I want to have that business. I want to be this great entrepreneur, and I want to make all of this money, and I want to be financially secure and stable. Uh, Remember, yeah, you promised that to me. We're good for reminding God about the promises we believe that He has made to us. Um, yeah, you can't let it all end like this. You can't let it be like this because I haven't opened up my business yet. Or I haven't had the amount of kids you told me I would have yet. Or, yeah, you can't let it end like this. You can't let it go out like this. You can't let me go out like that because I haven't gotten my boo yet. I haven't been married yet. I don't know what it is to be proposed to. I don't know what it is to walk down the aisle or go on a honeymoon or be called Mrs. A lot of people get really, really upset with God because they believe that, there's such a sense of entitlement. I hate to say in the body, but in church, there's such a gross sense of entitlement. And I do believe it has a lot to do with Western culture. I do believe that a lot of people in this country, in this hemisphere, are very entitled. Very, 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 very. We are entitled bunch of babies in this country is what we are, really. And we don't like to be uncomfortable. We don't like struggle. We don't like being broke. We don't like anything that smells like you have to work hard for what you got. We don't like it. So we're always coming up with always a new scheme and a new tactic and a new plan on how to make money off people. We wanted to point the fingers at this country and that country, but the United States got more scams going than any place else in the world. And we try to rule the world like we own the whole globe. Like this earth is ours. That's what we act like. We take foreign people's children and lock them up in cages. We drop bombs on foreign children, blow up children, just because. And you don't think that the rest of the world don't have a reason to hate us? Scratch that. You don't think that Yah don't hear their cries and their prayers? Even if their doctrine may not be what it should be. They may not even have the name right or none of that, but they do know that there is God. They may call him something else. They might say he's a higher power. They might call him Allah. They might call him whatever. But they do know that there is there is someone that's supposed to be looking out, especially for the babies. And when people who represent this country sign off on laws and decrees and edicts that put children in harm's way just because of what their parents believe and do? Yeah, Yah is going to judge. Yah is judging America big time. And I don't like it because I didn't sign these laws. I didn't say, hey, yeah, that ought to be like that. No, I didn't do that. But because I live here and I was born here, boom. But we are entitled a bunch of babies in this country. And we just try to bully the whole world. We try to rule the whole world. And we can't even keep the peace in our own backyard. We won't even make it right with minorities in this country. We won't fix the police stations so that they all across the board, there will be federal mandates that will make sure there will be federal laws over. There should be federal oversights. The FBI should be investigating every complaint against a police officer. I bet you they won't have them. They will stop. But because we are entitled bunch of babies over here, and we want to do this and do that everywhere else, and we don't want to take care of home, and I've been saying it for years, racism is going to be the demise of this country. Yeah, I could go into a series of events and everything that's catapulted to where we are today, but you and I both don't have that kind of time. And now it is what it's happening. It's unfolding all around us. And we could play this little game all we want. Open up business and lift the safer at home ordinances. So we could just get back to normal. Because Americans don't like to be uncomfortable. We have to have our luxuries. We have to have our comforts. We don't like to be put out of our comfort zone. We don't like to struggle. We don't like to wait on nothing. We don't like to work hard for anything. God forbid if we can't get up and go to the store every day to get a bunch of nothing. Got to go to the liquor store and get our liquor because that's essential in a pandemic. And you don't think y'all is going to judge this country? And he doesn't have reasons to judge this country? We can't go through nothing. And the church is no better, or what has been portrayed as the church. Can't go through anything. Bunch of entitled, whiny crybabies. Gimme, 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 Lord, you promised you. But you said. That's the church. God, yeah, you said. You promised. How many of us would still serve Yah and love God if He never gave us another thing? You know what I mean? What if He don't give you that boo? Would you still love Him? Would you still serve Him? What if He never opened up your womb and give you children or another child? Could you still worship Him? What if that ministry never comes to pass? Could you still love Yah with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul? You can't hardly find people like that today. That be like, Lord, whether you do it or whether you don't, I still love you. And I'm going to still do what you say to do. You can't find nobody like that. It's amazing. It's really sad to me. Like, struggle is like a curse in this country. When struggle is how you get to know Him. I don't think you heard me. Struggle is how you get to know God. Yeah, you read His word. But that word comes alive in your life when you have to go through some things. Because then you have to take that word and apply it to your life. You have to apply it to your situation. You have to believe Yah. believe what he said in his word, in spite of what you see going on right in front of you and all around you. And people got this fear thing twisted. They think that following the rules and following the laws of the land, which Yah said we're supposed to obey the laws of the land, is some kind of, it's supposed to be some sort of manifestation of fear. No. You know what fear is? Fear is not believing Yah's word. Because you know what? Somebody who will directly, rebelliously not obey the word of God don't believe his word. And that's in there. So all these preachers that's come out civil disobedience, you are out of order, pastor, bishop. You are out of order, elder. And you don't believe the very word that you preach. You can't. Because if you believe Yah and you believe what he said in his word, then you'll know, hey, I'm going to obey this law even though I don't understand why I'm obeying this law. I don't want to obey this law. I don't agree with this law. But I'm going to obey it anyway because it's in the word. And you don't believe that Yah can take that word and change the ordinance of the land. But there's a certain way that you do things. There's a certain way that you do things. Esther didn't say, oh man, Haman wrong for that. Haman ain't going to hang us. We going to go over there. We going to do this. And we going to overthrow Haman. And we going to overthrow this one. We going to, go get your Glock. Yo, we gone. We out, chief. No, she didn't do all that. She didn't lead a coup. You know what she did? She fasted and she prayed. And then she went to the leader. She went to the leader. She went to the leader. She went above the leader. She went above his head. The one who set the law, she went above his head. And because she found favor, boo. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? There's a way that you do things. And people are so crazy, they don't understand that very godly, divine concept that there is a way to do things. And Yah will give you divine wisdom and open up doors and give you supernatural favor with people in high places. But you can't be like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to raise up a coup. Yo, down there. You can't do that. You can't do that. Nobody's going to listen to you if you don't practice wisdom and you don't seek Yah. But all these people that's doing this, the civil unrest and civil disobedience and all this and all that, y'all not hearing from God. You're not hearing from God. I don't care if you're a bishop, a preacher, a pastor, apostle. I don't care what you call yourself. You can't be hearing from God. Because God has a way. And he touches the heart of the king. The heart of the king is in God's hand. I'm not saying that all the laws are right. No, some of the laws are wicked. Some of those ordinances are demonic. But you can't just I ain't doing nothing. You can't do that. You can't do that way. And that, the people in this country feel like that's how they gotta handle things. You all gonna be the reason why martial law come into effect. There's a reason why those people in foreign countries that's had to deal with COVID-19, okay? They've taken some extreme measures, yes. And they go out there with the hazmat suits on. They overreact to everything. They get the military involved and they shut it down. They lock it down. But guess what? They're not the number one country with COVID cases and deaths right now either, are they? They've gotten it under control. Why? Because they governed. Somebody was in leadership that had the common sense to say, this is what we need to do so that this don't go no further and we can stop people from dying. But no, but because we are such an entitled bunch of whiny crybabies that feel like I got a right to hold my gun thing. I got a right to do that. COVID-19 can't hold nothing to my mouth. Or, yo, man, if I'm gonna just go out smoking my weed, man. Yeah, man, yo, I ain't worried about no COVID-19. COVID-19 can't do. We gonna help the COVID-19, man. It's a bunch of entitled, whiny, stupid people. I'm surrounded by idiots. Idiots! Oh my God. I don't want to go out because y'all a bunch of idiots. I'm saying it. You're a bunch of idiots. But those countries that's on lockdown and that they don't mind buckling down and doing what they need to do temporarily to get this thing under control so that they can open it back up, you see that. You see the results. Even in Wuhan, China, where all this supposedly started. It's simmering down. The numbers are decreasing. Why? But they had to take some drastic measures. And they had to be uncomfortable for a little bit. But nobody in this country don't want to be uncomfortable no more. Nobody in the so-called church want to be uncomfortable no more. Nobody want to take sacrifice no more. And then we wonder, okay, be a bunch of whiny babies if you want to. But that's just why you don't see the glory of God. That's just why there will never be a revival in this land. Because y'all ain't willing to be uncomfortable. You ain't willing to sacrifice nothing. You got a right to everything. I got a right to lap on whoever I want to lap on. I got a right to pack. I got a right to sleep with children. I got a right to do drugs if I want to. Everybody got rights. And nobody wants to be uncomfortable. Nobody wants to do it without. I want to see how far that takes us as a country. We're imploding. Y'all worrying about the terrorists coming from the outside. The terrorists are already here. And I ain't talking about nobody trying to bomb nobody or nothing. I'm talking the terrorists is at Pennsylvania Avenue. That's where the terrorists at. That spirit of self-entitlement y'all put in there 4 years ago. He ain't never went through nothing. He ain't never struggled for nothing. He don't know what poverty is. So how can he tell you, average American, how to make it through a struggle when he ain't never struggled? Y'all so greedy because I just can't. I'm comfortable. I'm supposed to have this and I'm supposed to have that. So look what y'all done did now. Y'all done voted this dude in the office who don't know how to lead. And he had the folder, I promise you, the folder about the pending pandemic in China was on his desk last year. I'm pretty sure of it. But he ignored it because he was tweeting about impeachment. And because they didn't have nobody on the pandemic team because they had been dismantled in 2018 because we needed to save money, supposedly. Nobody was there to beat in dude face, to grab the phone out of his hand and say, bro, you need to get off Twitter, man. We got a pandemic that's brewing over there in China. What we're going to do? So that's what y'all did. And God gave you just what you wanted, just like in the book of Judges. Y'all wanted a king. Okay. God give you what you want. Y'all give you what you prayed for. Be careful what you wish for. But guess what? If you let him, he take your whiny self, entitled self, and turn you into a warrior. But you're going to have to be willing to go through some stuff. You're going to have to be willing to sacrifice. You might not get that promise. You got to be prepared. You have to have the mindset that I may never get that ministry. I may not have kids. I may not get married. Does that mean that y'all doesn't love me? Does that mean I'm supposed to have a temper tantrum and not talk to y'all anymore? Lock up in my room? I ain't talking to y'all no more because he wouldn't give me my mate. I don't want to read the Bible no more because I didn't get my ministry. I couldn't start my business and I couldn't be paid. So I'm out, Chief. Come on, y'all. It's time out for that. It's time out for whining and self-entitled people. Y'all is looking for some warriors. You want to be a warrior for real, for real? You got to be willing to go through something. You willing to go through something? Hey, kaya. If you willing to go through, then maybe y'all can use you. Y'all have a great night.